Top five, top five, top five.
So topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wang, he is Nate. Today we're doing top 5 Jonah Hill movies in honor of you people. This is a clip out from our podcast. And here's the top 5. Jonah Hill, a very talented actor, and he's good with the pen, as you've seen in one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time, mid-90s. And with this movie, he co-wrote it with the director. I can't remember their name, but it's You People, which is off the bat. That's a funny title.
You People. Yeah.
Like, one white person said it, and they felt uncomfortable. They was in the office. Well, hey Jerry, when are you planning on watching this weekend? Well, Philip, well, you heard about Netflix? They got a new movie out. Oh yeah, what is it called? You People. Like, that's just how I imagine that going in my head.
That's an interesting take.
I think, like, in my head, it's a Dave Chappelle skit. Like, Dave Chappelle pops out the back, like, what you say, you motherfucker? Or something like that. That shit funny to me.
So
anyways.
It's like the Key and Peele skit where they say bitch, but they always like look around to make sure their wives aren't there to hear them say it.
Never watched Key and Peele.
Oh.
No.
That skit is really funny. So.
Bro, I'm down with Dave Chappelle. The only thing Key and Peele's ever did was a little fucking Instagram clip. But Brian, Iran, whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, the substitute teacher.
Yeah, that's the only thing they ever did that was funny to me that I've seen. So I don't know. They could be funny. Keanu.
They're pretty funny.
The movie about the cat.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
It's about a cat. I hate cats. I'm allergic to cats. I don't like cats.
Cats suck.
But Jonah Hill, we're doing top 5 favorite Jonah Hill movies. Hell, next time we talk about this motherfucker, we might do top 5 favorite Jonah Hill scripts he wrote. Because he already got 2.
That's true.
And You People has got a big cast. You got Eddie Murphy. You got Nia Long. She was in Missing. I watched Missing Friday.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Laura London. You know who that is? She's Lil Wayne's baby mama.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of them?
Yeah, one of them. But yeah, seems like a very funny movie. I don't know about this guy. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I've seen it. It's a great movie. Guess Who? Ashton Kutcher, Bernie Mac. Also a good movie in the opinion of Strange Wang.
That's alright. So
we're doing top 5 Jonah Hill. He'll tell you how we do the list, and then we'll get into it.
He's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3-2, 3-2. Then we trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, then we say Zemeckis, and then we just talk about it once.
Number 5 for me is going to be Get Him to the Greek.
Never seen it.
Very funny movie. Jonah Hill's character, he's a straight-laced schmuck, and he has to fucking ride around with a fucking washed-up rock star that no one likes anymore, and he still has a rock star lifestyle.
Albus Snow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
because it's the same character from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, good tie-in. Jonah Hill's in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
He's the waiter. Yes.
How does that work?
I guess.
You guys got a twin?
I guess.
Anyways, he's also very funny in that movie. But P. Diddy's in there as a music producer or whatever. A record head, whatever the fuck. He's funny in it. But Jonah Hill playing a schmuck. I didn't know he could play a schmuck until a movie I will talk about later on in my list. But he plays a very good schmuck in trying to follow this rock star and, like, babysit him practically.
Yeah.
It's very funny because shenanigans happen. And Strange Wang likes shenanigans.
It's funny to me.
So that's why it's my number 5. Number 4, I debated on it because I think he's good in it, but I don't remember any of the scenes. I remember one line from this movie from Jonah Hill, and it's Wolf of Wall Street, and he says, well, my money's taped to your ass, so I guess, or tits or something like that, so I guess it is my fucking business or something like that.
That's my number 5.
He's good in the movie. He's a good partner to DiCaprio in this movie. But he was the perfect supporting player.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's not really much to say from it. As I said, I don't remember much of him in this movie.
Yeah, which is funny because I know he's in more of it than I remember him being.
Yeah, he's in like 70% of that movie.
But yeah, so Jonah Hill, I really like him in roles like this one which this is pretty much the only role like this he's ever done. But I
War
guess
Dogs.
I guess I like the idea of him in a role like this one, where it's like you still have some comedic aspects, but there's also a level of serious. It's not just pure goofball like stoner, like teenage comedy. So it's like he's playing a character that like has adult problems, is doing adult things, and then there's like some humor thrown in there just because of the nature of the situation, right? So yeah, it's my number 5. This was a really easy list for me
As well.
because I have only seen like maybe 7 or 8 Jonah Hill movies, and 2 of them or 3 of them were like, I don't.
Same role.
I could live without this movie. I don't even want to put it on my list. So yeah, just because I know he's in this movie, I know he adds to this movie, but I don't really remember him a ton in this movie. Like, that's why it's my number 5.
That's fair.
Like, he has less screen time in my number 4, but like it is entirely memorable. So
Yeah. I guess I probably should have switched mine, but him, just, to me, the more impressing thing of that role is, and I should have said it in mine, but he's with a class of their own.
yeah,
Like, the kid from fucking Superbad is in a Martin Scorsese movie right beside Leonardo DiCaprio
yeah,
with all these other big names in this movie.
yeah,
And it's like, he showed that he is talented
yeah.
and could hold his own.
for sure.
So,
Agreed.
like, I gave it the edge because of that. And that was your 5 and 4?
What? No, that was your 5 and 4, and then
We have the same.
Wolf of Wall Street
okay.
is my number 5.
So your number 4 is.
And so my number 4 is Django Unchained.
Didn't have enough in it for me.
Yeah, it had enough in it for me because my other options that I'm not putting on this list were Accepted,
Ask me about my winner.
This Is the End, which I can't stand.
Not a fan.
It's just like those movies, or like stuff where he just shows up for a little
Our
bit.
friend Chris watched that movie and
This
he
is-
texted me.
This Is the End.
I don't know if he texted you, but he texted me. And he was like, "What do you think about this?" I was like, "It's fucking garbage." And he was like, I guess he was proud because he agreed with me. He's like,
Oh.
it's like, yeah, that shit fucking sucked. But because I know one of our friends, shout out HT, goddamn, half of the time it's the same fucking message, which is also like very funny and like
Yeah,
it has its own certain charm to us now. So I don't know if Chris texted you about that or not.
he did not. Anyways, Django Unchained. Yeah, he's in this movie for like maybe 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes are freaking hilarious. And like I love that movie to death. Like, I could quote several different parts of Django Unchained, and we have and do quote several parts of Django Unchained. But like the amount of people who don't watch movies like I watch movies, who saw Django Unchained, that is the scene that that everyone
That is
goes
their
to.
scene, yes.
And so like for Jonah Hill to show up in a Tarantino movie and just like completely steal a scene, I would have, I don't like
Today, Junior!
if I had to knock something else off a list just to make this my number 5, if he had like that many movies where he had good performances in them, I probably would have done it. There was no way I wasn't putting it on my list. Because to me, if you look at Jonah Hill's like acting, like collective acting credits, obviously we just do movies, so we don't do any TV work and stuff that he's done. And this isn't including his writing. So like, if you're
TV
just,
work has it on?
huh?
What TV work has he done?
I can't we'll look at his IMDb later. It's a lot, actually. But like I don't care if he's only in it for like 5 minutes. Like this is clearly a standout part of Jonah Hill's entire like acting career. So I think he deserves to be on the list.
Number 3 is, I took a franchise. I'm assuming you're taking a franchise too. Jump Street.
But it's my number 2.
Okay.
But yes, I took 21 and 22.
Jump Street are
Collectively.
just funny movies that actually have a fucking character arc in them that's surprising.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the second one, I think it's the rare case where the second one's just as funny or better than the first one.
Yeah.
And you have a completely different character arc and it works and it has that heart still and everything in it. So because of that, he's had funny movies. He's had dramatically funny movies.
Yeah.
That had character arcs. Like, he's not the main focus in Funny People, but he's in Funny People.
Right.
He's had these funny movies, but they didn't have the same character arc that 21 Jump Street had. And plus, it's different. He's doing action. I've never seen him do action.
Yeah.
So,
But they even make fun of the fact that he is not the kind of person that you would see doing action in those movies. Like,
he is.
like he's bad at it in the movies.
He's literally, if fucking Ray Berry was a fucking cop. They kind of look alike.
Yeah. Not
like,
so Slim Shady. We
yeah.
used to call him that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like a little bit the same size. First
Yeah.
time I met that cop, like he had a bowl cut. He would never own up to it.
Right.
Well, good
But
shit.
yeah, it's my number 2. These movies are in fact hilarious. Has been really difficult for me in the last like 10-15 years to find comedies that I actually think are legitimately funny. And I don't mean like a couple scenes where I go like, I mean make me laugh. And I grew up with comedies that made me fucking laugh.
Yeah.
And like still do. So it's just like comedy is definitely, at least in film, comedy has been on the downslope for a minute. Hopefully we'll have like a rise in like the true like comedy blockbuster will make its return.
I hope so.
The Jump Street movies were just like a shining moment in the darkness that is comedy and film over the last 15 years. I saw the first one. It was hilarious. I saw they were coming out with the second one. I was nervous about it because I was like, man, the first one was actually funny, but I like, what if they just like Judd Apatow this shit up too much or something like that? They didn't. The writing in both of them is incredibly smart. I saw the second one for the first time last October. I watched it on a flight back on my way back home from Vegas, and it was phenomenal. Like, I'm sitting there crammed in like a fucking airplane, like a sardine with people next to me, and I like don't even give a shit anymore because this movie is like engaging, it's funny, it's got comedy, it's got action, it's got character development. They don't make movies that have all three of those things anymore, and like they did with these, and he is excellent in them, and I really appreciate it.
Number 2 for me is going to be Superbad.
And that's my number 3. So we just flip-flopped 2 and 3.
Superbad to me is what Jonah Hill was known for, and kind of still is known for, but the peak of it.
Yeah.
He was like, he finally put a stamp on it and said, this is the best Jonah Hill performance I can make at this time.
You're right.
And it took him a while, but later on he's
starting to branch out.
Slowly became an actor, and now he's writing and doing all kinds of amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Making documentaries and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, have you finished This is off topic. Did you finish documentary?
Stutz.
I couldn't finish it.
Yeah, I didn't finish it either.
Started it again. Like where I left off. I was like, I feel like I'm being like preached at.
Yeah, it's not so much a documentary as much as it is like, I mean, in all fairness, it's like an expectation thing. Like, it is kind of put out there as a straight documentary. It's not a documentary. It is like a, like he straight up says in the beginning of the movie, I wanted to make this so that other people out there who might need the tools that you have given me can learn them. So it is more like an educational feature than it is an actual documentary. And so me going into it thinking it was going to be a documentary about this really cool guy and like all that stuff, it's just, that's just not what it is.
Yeah.
And maybe one day when I can like rewrite in my brain that is just not going to be what I want it to be, then I can go back and rewatch it. But also, if it is just an educational thing, I'm pretty confident in my mental health. I've done a lot of studying on that stuff on my own. I have found out what things work for me. So maybe I just personally don't need to watch that. But it is what it is.
Superbad.
Yeah, Superbad's great.
A lot of funny gags in this movie. The movie does have heart. He wears a Richard Pryor shirt. For me personally, there's not much else to love when it comes to raunchy comedies like this.
Yeah. I think Superbad is like one of the most iconic movies of its time.
Clearly! No debating!
Like, it was funny. It broke the mold on what a lot of like comedy was kind of getting stale at that point too, and this kind of broke the mold and started, for better or worse, a trend that continued for like 10 years, and it's in some ways is kind of still going.
No, I don't even think, like, sorry to interrupt, but, like, we didn't start getting these until people who, like, grew up watching Superbad in high school started to make movies. Like, I didn't notice it until, like, 2016. People started popping these suckers out.
I think that if you go back and look, you'll see that it was happening more consistently than that. Because, like, so Jonah Hill was in Accepted came out before Superbad did. And, like, so there was actually movies building up to Superbad.
Yeah, but...
And then Superbad was kind of like the quintessential, like, this is the funniest, it has the best writing, it's got the character development, like, everyone in it is kind of a fresh face, so we're not relying on, like, Justin Long, who has been doing this thing for a minute, and, like, so, anyways, Superbad is hilarious. It's still hilarious. It is the best movie of its specific subgenre of comedy, and I'm very glad it exists. The reason I've put it below Jump Streets is just because I think that, like, I mean, literally and figuratively, his performance in the Jump Street movies is, like, a little more mature than it is in Superbad, because it needed to be, and Superbad was about immature high school kids.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I get a little bit more from him in the Jump Street movies, but totally respect that Superbad is kind of like Jonah Hill's, like, stepping out into the world. I am here. I can do this.
Yeah, but also I feel like...
Some people would argue that that was the trailer for Accepted, because the amount of times that I heard, "Ask me about my wiener," before that movie even came out, just because of the trailer, is insane.
Yeah.
But
see, personally, I feel like with Superbad, no one could have played that role but Jonah Hill, which you could probably find a guy to be in 21 Jump Street.
who? Who's gonna give the same timing, the same vibe?
Let me Google
Is gonna
chubby actors from
is
the
is
late
gonna have the same chemistry
2010s.
with Channing Tatum. I don't think anyone else could do that.
Paul Waterhauser. He was around that age.
No,
Nah, dude, Paul Waterhauser is fucking amazing. He could have done it.
no, he couldn't have done that.
Oh,
That's not in his wheelhouse.
bro, he did that fucking Atlanta fucking bombing for the Olympics.
Yeah.
So he can do action stuff.
What was that?
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood did it. Better Call Saul's in it.
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to remember the name of that. I can't remember the name of that
Bob
movie.
Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Fuck, what is that movie? I remember, like, fucking Time Warner, before they went under, they, like, made, like, a series of it. Like, it was like, oh, that did good. Let me pop this out. I like Pinocchio. They're like, all right, I'll make my Pinocchio, you make your Pinocchio, and they're going to be different.
One is clearly better.
Fuck is that movie called? He's really good in that movie, though. Paul Waterhauser. What a
I'm
guy.
not saying the guy's a bad actor. I'm just saying that role is not.
I think he could have did it. But number one, I think for both of us, if it's not your number one, you're a purebred nematode.
Moneyball?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Moneyball.
That motherfucker kicked open the door and said, "Bitch, I can act." And
Richard Jewell.
yeah, he did. He fucking is a perfect person to compliment Brad Pitt in his acting style.
Yeah.
Because Brad Pitt is fucking modern day Paul Newman without salad dressing. He's a cool motherfucker.
That boy good!
He stops on screen, fucking panties get wet. You know what I'm saying? He's just cool without trying. He says, he's talking to all these old baseball scouts. That motherfucker got the pin, son. He said, "You got a problem with who I said?" Jonah Hill, he gets on base.
Yeah.
Like, bruh. Like, he's not very confident throughout. You have to fire someone? Yeah, you do it like this. Sorry, but we gotta send you home. Jonah Hill, how's your day? Like, making it worse.
Yeah.
making it awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect foil, not foil, because that means it's like a bad guy. He compliments Brad Pitt to perfection in that movie. And I absolutely love it for that as well. Not only because he said, like, fuck you, I can act, and, like, started to act.
Yeah.
Even though his, like, next, like, serious performance was garbage. You remember True Story? With him and Rapey McGee? James Franco? James Franco murdered a bunch of people, and it's like, hey, I want you to tell my story. And he's, like, starting out as a journalist.
I don't remember.
That's not good.
Yeah. The only movie I remember that they did together was the...
This is the end.
Oh, well, sorry. I did that thing again where I get him and Seth Rogen mixed up. I was thinking of The Interview.
Gross. You want to go ahead and say what happened before we filmed?
Oh, I made a top 5 Seth Rogen movies because I thought that's what we were doing.
The disrespect.
Then I do. But yeah, Jonah Hill and Moneyball, he's fantastic. He showed that, like, hey, I can do more than... He didn't just show that, hey, I can act. He said, I can do more than the goofball, like, silly, like, you know, stoner kid or the balling out, like, you know, I could do more than, like, the party animal type shtick or the class clown shtick or, like, stuff like that. And he's shy, he's timid, but he is, in fact, the smartest guy in the room. But he doesn't play it like your typical, I know I'm the smartest guy in the room character. He plays it like somebody who has the knowledge but doesn't have the confidence. And the way that he sells that in this film adds so much to it. And I'm a big fan. I love that movie. That movie, I don't know why. That movie is, like, really calming to me. It's just, like, the vibe of it. And, like, if you ever told me that a movie like Moneyball was going to have as much, like, rewatchability to me as it did, I would have been like, nah, that doesn't sound like a really rewatchable movie, but it is. I love just putting Moneyball on the background and working. Like,
this is fucking so good. That was also the movie that I, like, saw a Brad Pitt, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I know he's good as Tyler Durden, but, like,
oh, yeah,
he's really fucking good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I, like, went out and watched a bunch of other Brad Pitt stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That was a big movie for me, personally.
Moneyball?
Yeah. Top 50 for sure.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
But tell us down low in the comment section, what is your top 5 favorite Jonah Hill movies? Are you looking forward
Seth Rogen.
to you people? You can even ask me about my wiener. Whatever you do, leave it in the comment section below.
Please don't ask him about his wiener.
You already know. The Wang Strange. It's in the name. Stay strange, by the way, people. But scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.